Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got the Q with the U, so I can see quad and quat. Do I have any alternatives? I don't think so. Well, aqua, but I think quad is best. Or is aqua better? Keeping DUT. Quad does take an S in front. I am going with this. Well, I draw another U, which isn't great, but I have the H for score. Hutier is good, which should also address the vowel problem. Q takes an I underneath, but I'm not seeing anything great which uses that. And I'm not seeing anywhere for Hutier, which is annoying. Maybe I can play through the Q with the U. So I have Took, getting rid of both U's. That's quite nice. Does opponent have an S? Pretty brutal if he does. And he does, of course. So, well, I think he was going to bingo whatever I played with that rack. Now, my Took spot has been taken. Squad only takes an S after it. Not seeing anywhere for Hutier. I have Utu on my rack. And I'm not seeing anywhere for that. No QU plays because TU isn't good. I have Huier on my rack. Nowhere for that. Wow, what a tricky position to be in. I trail by a bingo and I've got a really awkward rack. So, how about playing AUA? I've only got one A. And AUE doesn't play. Gosh. How am I going to sort this rack out? HUI is good. There could be some 4-letter front extensions to squad. No U's play parallel to squad, and that's really the problem I have. I certainly have to play off one of the U's. Wow. What am I missing? So what are the 3-letter plays? A-U-E, E-A-U. Yeah, I think I'm going to play E-A-U. It sorts out the vowel problem. I'm going with this. Not great. I draw only consonants and heavy ones in the V and the Y. But I have Tivy on my rack. U and V are tricky together. Tivy plays in rows. Well, opponent's just taken out those rows. So anywhere for Ivy. Tivy does play in column 12. Do I have anything in column 3? I don't think I do. So let me see what this scores. Tivy does take an S in front. This is 20 points. Pretty lame. But can I do any better? I said I couldn't see anywhere for V, U and Y. That would be the ideal. Just checking if that is the case, and yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Not seeing anything through the B. I am going with this. So this looks a little more respectable. I don't think there's a 7 here. Could be an 8 through the right floater. Hulliest is good, but EAU doesn't take an L. And no other floating I's. Floating B, not in a particularly good spot. I trail by 30, but opponent on turn. Although I have an S for Stivvy, I don't think I'm going to score enough in row H to justify playing that. However, I do have Shul, SHUL, for 36 points. Which is not bad, leaving Let. Great. Opponent slows down, only 15 points. Now, what I haven't considered is this floating Y, and I've got an LY ending. But sleuthly not good. So maybe I should play Shul. It gets rid of the U, splits up duplicate L, scores well. Leaves a decent rack leave. And if I held on to the S, I would need to be scoring about 28 points to justify doing that, and I'm not seeing anywhere for that, so I'm going with this. Pretty good. I have notable on my rack. Is there anywhere for that? Probably not. This doesn't look a very friendly board for 7s, and opponent's play of comp doesn't provide a new lane. So let me consider the floaters. I have Ballanet through the L, so I do have a bingo. But do I have a better one? What about the U? I have the UBL ending and the out beginning. What about the Y? No, not seeing anything there. The H doesn't look useful. Not seeing anything with the I. And does notable have an anagram? I don't think it does. So, well, do I want to play it here? Well, wherever I play it, I'm either putting an A or an O next to a triple letter square. I think this is slightly safer, and it's the Z and the J I'm worried about, both of which go next to both vowels. But I think the A is harder to access because of the restrictions imposed by the B. So Ballanet for 61. Well, grounded through a U, which I've just blocked. EA is a possibility. Not particularly useful as the initial 2 letters, but maybe a play through that. Not with this rack, but for future reference. So opponent takes out that Z danger and still leads by 16 points. What am I going to do? Very tight board, and the lanes are pretty ropey. Column 4 would open up a triple lane. Row L, well, floating Y, not that useful. But I'm only 16 behind. Nothing goes in front of Dom. I've got no scoring tiles. Nothing goes in front of FA. So what do I have through EA as a non-bingo just to sort the rack out? I certainly want to play off a D and a G. So I could play geared, reluctantly playing my E. 18 points, creating a new lane, providing access to a triple word square. I don't think that's justified. Still 3 S's and a blank to come. Now, do I have anything through ADO? Adorned doesn't quite reach. 11 minutes on my clock. It's just a tight board, which is credit to opponents. I was thinking about playing Dong, but OT not good. It's not a great play anyway. But the rack leave is good. I was thinking about Adorn. I don't have an A. Wow, there's been more than one really tricky rack to deal with in this game, and racks are tricky when you have no decent candidate plays. So dodgy for 13 leaves a decent rack leave, and it doesn't provide anything massive for opponent. It does create a lane, but I trail, so I don't think that's bad. I'm going with this. Wow, what have I drawn? J, W, and X. Well, maybe a blessing. I don't have a bingo, but yep, maybe I can score well. And only 18 for opponent, and he burns lots of bingo-y tiles, so there is hope. So I have Jew down here for 37, which is pretty good. Can't see a way of getting the J, W, or X doubled. Just thinking about that. And I can't. And next turn, if I keep this rack, I may have an EX 6 or 7 letter play for a very big score. And this score is good, 37. Yeah, I am going... Am I going with this? I think I am. Yes, I am. EAU takes an X. Wow. That looks pretty good. Do I have a bingo? Gosh. 4 Nixes from an F, possibly. Just wondering about O Rexins, but I think I'm confusing that with something else. It's good. Wow. Does it play? It does. It plays in row B. Does it play anywhere else? OT, not good. What a shame. I wonder why I had such doubts about that, but yeah, it is valid. But if it's blocked, do I have a 6-letter EX play? Well, it's not blocked. Fantastic. Nice play by opponent. Has he provided a better spot for my bingo? D takes F and L. Wow, interesting. I have 2 spots for Araxins. This is for 86 points, which is huge, and the alternative is above the R for fewer points. So I think OI restricts opponents' ability to play at the top. Yeah, I am going with this. Wow, pretty good set of 7 random tiles. No F. Well, all the L's have gone, but no F. That's going to be a big spot, whoever gets the final F. Gosh, Opponent gets 100-point bingo, goes back into the lead by 30, only 11 tiles left. Now I have a K for koi. But should I be considering any bingo lanes first? Well, are there any? Not sure there are. Well, there's the I. I don't have anything beginning with I, and there's row A, but I'm not seeing a 7, and none of the floaters in Orexins are floaters for 8-letter plays. Look at that, 107 points. That is just killing. That is so good. So what can I do? I only trail by 30, so I've got KO or KA. Let me put K in. Can I get, and both A and O go above the X. What goes above ER? Probably nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing. So I don't really like keeping 4 consonants. Tonka's good. 11 tiles left. And this is 46 points. Wow, game is not over yet. Gosh, what a pick. I have railing. I suspect nowhere for it. Grainily through an I. Nothing beginning with an I, but that's a pretty good pick. And opponent only gets 20, so just 2 points between us and just 2 tiles in the bag. And look at this, a Z still to come. So, do I really have nowhere for railing? 6 minutes on my clock. Yeah, although this board is spread out, it's spread out in such a way that all lanes are blocked. Nothing goes in front of Moire. Row D might be a lane. Have to begin under A-R-E. And, G goes there. Interesting. Interesting. I don't have a bingo, but I could play Grainy. And that is 34 points, and I'm going to be left with 3 tiles. I'm not setting up anything massive for the Z. I could be drawing 2 consonants. What did opponent do? Opponent burned 3 consonants. He wouldn't have kept 3... Opponent's burned 3 vowels. He wouldn't have kept 3 consonants. So one of these consonants at least is on opponent's rack. So I could end up with 3 consonants. Very few floating vowels, just the O. So as a play, this is worth doing if I've got a good chance of going out with the 3 consonants. I may come back to this and do it. But is there an alternative play which retains a vowel? And the other attraction of Grainy was the score, because I trail by 2 points. If I picked up a Z, I would have ZO. Well, what about playing down here? This is, wow, why didn't I see this? 49 points, and I'm retaining a vowel. I'm going to have 5 tiles, so probably not an out. But this is good. So am I missing something even better at the bottom? 4 minutes on my clock. I think I'm minded to play this. Wow, that would have been painful to miss. But yeah, this is the play, I think. Slight risk of duplicating I and N. But the Y has to be doubled for score. Nothing ends IY. Yeah, I am going with this. Not a great pick. However, I do have the F. Oh, an opponent goes in that spot for 58. So I now trail by 11. Opponent's got just an H. He can play Hoy. He can play He. So he's definitely going out. Oh, wow. And maybe he wouldn't have had anything big in row O. What a shame I spotted that fantastic spot. I can't get value from the Z. The best I can do is Zin for 22, which isn't going to be enough. 3 minutes on my clock, so what do I need? Let me just see what opponent can do with his H. He can get 13. Yeah, that's all he can get, which would take him to 414. Yeah, I need to score about 30 with my F. Can I do that? And I only have thin on my rack, 2 minutes on my clock. I've got fling for not very much. And opponent definitely going out, so I have one play. $24 for Zin, but then opponent gets 8 on count back. Fado is good. If is good. Foy is good, but no A for Amma. 2 minutes on my clock. No 4-letter F play. Wises, that was a really good spot. No, 1 minute on my clock, I'm not seeing anything. So do I play Zin? Opponent gets 12 on countbacks, that's a 12-point play. Down to the last minute. I feel there is an F play which is better than Zin, but I'm not seeing it. So that's 10, that's an 8-point play, so that's not better. I'm going with Zin. And opponent has Ho. And possibly something better, which I haven't seen. And wow, 15 minutes on opponent's clock, which partly explains why I have so little time on mine. And the final score, 414 for me, 426 for opponent, a winning margin of 12 points. So well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. That was so close. And I felt Grey gave me the advantage, but Wheezes just swung it totally back to opponent. Me to go first, I played quad, which looks fine. Amazingly good rack for opponent to start with. Plays airiest. And here we go. This is a rack I really struggled with, but C4. Gosh, Hote plays all the way down column 4 for 31 points. That would have been the play. And the rest of the rack leaves are grim, but with good scores. So I take a 10 or 15-point sacrifice, but W is awful, so I'm glad to avoid that. Opponent plays Doubt for 16. And now, wow, J9. Thy, dot, and by. Wow, keeping UV. And I play Tivy for 20. So which is better, Tivy or Thy? Well, it's a matter of looking at the rack leaves. Is the rack leave of Shut 21 points better than ISUV? Interesting. So let me value ISUV first. S is 8 to 10. I does very little to that. U and V both drag it back massively. I think this is going to be negative. Maybe -1 or 2. Between 0 and -5, I'd say. Shut is positive. H and T both help the S. U drags it back. So that could be, I think, between 10 and 15, between 0 and -5. Yeah, there could be a 15 to 20 point difference, and there's a 20 point difference in scores, so I think those moves are close. Horrible rack for opponent. Plays Gov. And I play Shoal for 36, but J10. Wow, this UH spot was really quite valuable. I could have played Heil there, retaining the S, for only 4 fewer points. So that would have been better. Opponent plays Comp for 36, which was good. And now I have Baronet, which brought me back into the game, and in fact into the lead. Opponent plays Fort. Wow, dog-eared, that's nice. Yep, 24 points, and opening up 2 triple word squares, so I think I may have done that. I played Dodgy for 13, keeping Wren, which is a decent keep, so I think Dodgy's fine. Opponent plays Lyria. Lyria from this rack, so if I'd played dog-eared, yeah, he wouldn't have had anything amazing, all 1 point tiles. So I trail by 20, and I played Jew, but I could have played Wex in that spot for 49, keeping the J. I think the X is a more flexible tile than the J. Yeah, and Jew is keeping an E as well, and vowels go well with the big tiles, so although 12 point difference, I still prefer Jew. Nice play by opponent of Moirai. And I have Erexins for 87. D7, that was not my play. D7. Oh wow, coming underneath Lyria. That would have been a better play. Wow. Yeah, because it wouldn't have opened up column 1. But not a huge amount between those. Let me go back to opponent's rack. And there we go, Placets for 107. Now, my rack. And I played Tonka for 46.01. Atok available at the bottom for 54. Interesting how dangerous is this spot at the top. Hard to say. But with a lot of, well, just wondering about the vowel consonant balance. There are 8 out of 18, slightly vowel dry. Atok leaves no vowels. But Tonka leaves fewer consonants. I don't think there's much between those. Gosh, look at this. All these vowels on opponent's rack. Plays Ina. Oh, my word. Bingo. 01. Where's that? No, D8. Angrily area and earn. Wow, what a miss. 82 points. That would have taken me to 423. Yeah, that would surely have won the game. I would have been 80 points ahead. Yeah, opponent would not have been able to come back from that. What a miss. Angrily. Gosh. And then Grey, second best, but a long way behind. Opponent has Wheezes, and now I trail by 11. And there's just nothing for me, so I play Zin. And opponent goes out with Ho. So, what a game. So close all the way through, and I kept on losing hope and then gaining hope with Baronet and Erexins, and then my final opportunity to win the game with Angrily. I overlooked the bingo, and that was an expensive miss. So absolutely brutal stuff. Many congratulations to opponent once again on his victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.